May is ALS Awareness Month, so tonight we want to spend a few minutes highlighting an organization that's made tremendous strides in making life easier for people with ALS. That's the fatal, debilitating condition that's commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, I know we usually don't do this on Mad Money, but we think this is important, and we want to bring it to you. I'm talking about Everything ALS. That's a patient-focused nonprofit that uses data science and technological innovations to fight the disease, or at least make life easier for the people who have it. They're trying to come up with a cure, but in the meantime, they've developed technology that allows ALS patients who've lost the ability to speak to continue communicating in their own voice. To learn more about these efforts, we're joined by someone I knew from my old hedge fund days, Bill Nuti. He's the former chairman and CEO of NCR, who was diagnosed with ALS in 2018 and forced to retire after a very successful turnaround effort. But Nuti didn't give up, a character trait of a true leader. He founded an organization called Cure ALS and ultimately merged it with Everything ALS, becoming chairman. We're going to hear from Bill in a special way. He's going to be using some groundbreaking technology that you'll hear more about in a moment. Everything ALS launched a project in March to reinvent ALS research process. The main thing I wanted to hear from Bill was about his mission, Vision 2030. Here's what he had to say.
Jim, it's great to see you and a privilege to be on the show. We have known each other a long time, and I have such admiration for you, your work, and what too few people know about you, your generous philanthropy, especially for conditions involving the brain. Jim, the Vision 2030 AI Research Hub is a groundbreaking platform that will unite researchers with the supply chain of data, technology, and partners that can rapidly translate breakthrough basic science discoveries into life-altering drugs. And, importantly, our focus is on curing ALS, returning function to people affected, and, by proxy, advance that potential in other neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Beyond researchers, the hub will include leading pharma and biotech companies, academia, hospital clinics, government agencies, and other private foundations involved in the effort to find a cure. This first-of-its-kind approach is based on a few years of intensive due diligence on the entire ALS universe, much like a company would do before making a large acquisition. That process, along with the experience of Everything ALS, informed our strategy, including our unique operating model.
Of course, always, Bill, the great business person, and thank you for the kind words that I do, which are so minimal versus what you're trying to accomplish and accomplishing. So thank you. Takes my breath away, but thank you. I'd like to welcome Indu Navar. She's the CEO of Everything ALS. My question to you, Indu, is what do you need to do to achieve this mission?
I think we need everybody who can actually participate in this. I got into this because I lost my dear husband to the disease. And we are technologists, and I'm a tech entrepreneur, and my husband was very early at Amazon, built Amazon Cloud, Mechanical Turk. And we all know what has happened in the technology world. Right. And we have made change, but that's what we need to have happen here in ALS. And we want everybody to get involved. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to come in and talk to you. Well,
and people should know, you've been a very successful business person yourself in a lot of different ways that people should be familiar with, including some great companies that we talk a lot about.
Yes.
Well, to me, look, this is fascinating. When I was doing my research, I wanted to hear how this mission differs from others. I know many who are involved in this mission, and we need as many as possible. We need as much awareness as possible. But I posed that question to Bill, what we're trying to do, what needs to be done. Here's what he had to say. Take a look.
Jim, first I have to say that it is completely unacceptable that since Lou Gehrig was diagnosed with ALS in 1939, there is no change to the prognosis for survival, which is still 3 to 5 years. And what I learned in short is that the system is broken and ALS research is woefully underfunded. That said, what sets us apart from everyone else starts with the fact that at the center of our strategy is artificial intelligence technology. And we are an example of AI for good versus the all too often topic of the threat of AI. And while there are legitimate concerns that need to be addressed, No one talks enough about how this technology, when coupled with human ingenuity, will cure complex diseases like ALS over the next decade. Beyond AI, we're operating and organizing very differently than others, past or present, who share the same goal. And while AI is a critical element of our strategy, AI alone will not solve the mystery of ALS in the foreseeable future.
You know, you're a technologist. What is it about this illness that until now, perhaps, we've made so much, so just everyone's tried, nothing's happened?
I think, like Bill said, you know, it's not just technology alone. We need to actually surround ourselves with the people. That's a difference with Everything ALS. We have Everything ALS citizen-driven research. That is, we the people are driving this. If you see Bill, myself, people who are affected, and we look at them as our shareholders. We look at them as our people that we have to report to because they're giving their data, they're giving their information. So we have solved the big issue of how do we get the data about the disease by bringing the people. We have about 7,000 families who are involved in Everything ALS today, and that's growing. And now what we need to do is really get enough funding to actually come up with funding some of the initiatives that we think with AI and also science, when we combine together with the people, that is going to be the platform to solve this
I totally
disease.
agree with you. I mean, I think it's going to be the data and the wherewithal to get the funding. I know how hard it is to fight for brain illnesses and get awareness. You are doing everything right, and you are a hero, and Bill's a hero, and your families are heroes.
Thank you, Jim.
I want to thank Bill Nuti, who's the chairman of Everything ALS, and to Indu Navar, CEO of Everything ALS. Wow. Okay, let's all do our part. Mad Money's back after the break.
When we return, master the markets one stock at a time. The lightning round is up next.